Hello and welcome to the story. Today, I bring you a classic tale full of adventure and an important life lesson. Join me on this journey as we discover the story of the country mouse and the city mouse. I hope you enjoy it. The country mouse and the city mouse. Once upon a time, there were two cousin mice who lived very different lives. One of them, Country Mouse, lived in a beautiful meadow surrounded by green hills, tall trees, and a clear, sparkling stream. His home was a small burrow under the roots of an old oak tree. Every morning, he woke up to the sound of birds singing and spent the day gathering seeds, berries, and some vegetables from a nearby garden. To him, life was peaceful and happy. On the other hand, his cousin, City Mouse, lived in a grand mansion in the heart of the city. There, everything was noisy and fast-paced. The streets were full of people rushing by, carriages rolled back and forth, and the lights never went out. His home was hidden in the basement of a large house, near the pantry, where he could enjoy the leftovers of luxurious human banquets, fine cheeses, freshly baked bread, sweet fruits, and delicious desserts. One day, City Mouse decided to visit his cousin in the countryside. After a long journey, he arrived at Country Mouse's burrow, where he was warmly welcomed. "Dear cousin," exclaimed Country Mouse, "what a joy to see you! Come in and make yourself at home." City Mouse looked around curiously. The countryside was beautiful, but everything seemed so simple. When his cousin offered him food, he saw that there were only a few nuts, seeds, and a couple of small carrots. "My dear cousin," said City Mouse in surprise, "is this what you eat every day?" "Yes," replied Country Mouse with a smile. "It's fresh and natural." City Mouse sighed and shook his head. "You must come with me to the city. There, we have much more delicious and abundant food. I promise you'll love it." Country Mouse hesitated for a moment. He loved his home, but he was curious to see the city and taste these wonderful treats his cousin spoke of. So, after thinking it over, he decided to accept the invitation. The journey was long and tiring, but when they arrived, Country Mouse was amazed. The city was nothing like what he knew. There were bright lights, towering buildings, and an endless mix of strange noises. When they entered the mansion, City Mouse led him to the dining room. On the grand table, there was an incredible feast. All kinds of cheeses, golden brown bread, juicy fruits, and cakes covered in cream and chocolate. "Eat as much as you like," said City Mouse proudly. Country Mouse tasted a piece of cheese and was surprised by its rich flavor. Then he bit into a slice of bread with honey and licked his whiskers. He had never tasted anything so delicious. However, just as they were enjoying the feast, a loud noise startled them. The door swung open, and heavy footsteps echoed across the floor. A second later, a menacing meow filled the room. "Run! Hide!" whispered City Mouse. Both mice scurried under a piece of furniture just as a huge black cat leaped onto the table. The feline sniffed the air, its eyes gleaming fiercely as it searched for intruders. Country Mouse trembled with fear, his heart pounding rapidly. After a few moments that felt like an eternity, the cat lost interest and walked away. City Mouse casually emerged from hiding, unfazed. "Aren't you scared?" asked Country Mouse, still out of breath. "Not really," his cousin replied. "This happens all the time, but it's worth it for all this food." Country Mouse remained silent for a moment. Then he sighed and shook his head. "Dear cousin, the food here is wonderful, but I can't live with this constant danger. I prefer my peaceful life in the countryside, where I may not have luxuries, but at least I can sleep soundly at night." City Mouse looked at him sadly, but understood that everyone had their own way of being happy. The next day, Country Mouse set off on his journey home. When he arrived, he took a deep breath of the fresh air, listened to the birds singing, and felt an incredible sense of peace. He realized that he wouldn't trade his simple life for all the riches in the world. Moral: wealth and abundance do not always bring happiness. Sometimes, the peace and security of a simple life are worth more than all the luxuries in the world. Thank you for joining me in this story. I hope you liked it and learned something valuable about happiness and peace. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell for more stories like this. See you in the next one.